Hi, superhumans. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's gaining a lot of attention in spiritual circles, light language, and why we might want to approach it with some serious caution or even step away from it entirely. So, what is light language? It's often described as a nonverbal vibrational tool transmitting energy linked to starseeds, ascension, or contact with higher dimensional beings. Instead of clear words used, it uses sounds, tones, and symbols or movements said to carry pure energetic frequencies. Its roots trace back to ancient spiritual traditions, like sacred sounds and chants used in shamanic practices or mystical lineages. And while its modern version has now surged through channel expressions in New Age and Ascension communities. In recent years, there's been a real explosion in its popularity, especially on social media, in sound healing sessions, meditation groups, and starseed ascension spaces. What started out as a niche experience has gone mainstream, with thousands sharing activations and transmissions online, drawing in people hungry for spiritual breakthroughs and deeper connection. Many promote it as purely beneficial, claiming it clears blockages, raises vibration, and supports emotional release, leaving you feeling balanced and empowered. But here's where discernment becomes crucial. And if you don't hear anything I say in any of this, please hear this. With any tool that surges so quickly in popularity, especially one that's nonverbal and bypasses conscious understanding, there's a real risk of deception. In energy healing and spiritual practices, we've seen deceptive energies at work, unspoken sounds or frequencies that carry hidden implants or attachments. These may feel uplifting at first, the classic hook, creating that rush of light, euphoria, or even temporary relief. You feel good for a while, but over time, things can shift. Now, there are other reasons why things can shift, but there is a difference. Here, in true energy healing, when you slide back over time, it's less intense. But with implants that come in from light language, it actually worsens. Blockages return stronger, emotions intensify negatively, or even a sense of disconnection creeps in. And what seemed like healing can subtly drain or distort your energy field instead. And the first instinct when you slide back worse, well, it's often to go right back to more light language, the very thing that hooked you initially. And just like a good drug for an addict, this actually strengthens its hold, creating a full on inversion. You believe you're doing good for yourself or even others, but you unwittingly are working with darker or negative energies. And over time, this keeps you dependent and locked in a cycle, much like the addiction. This is why many who've gone deep in these practices later warn the most profound, lasting healing and spiritual connection don't come through ambiguous vibrations or encoded sounds. They come through full clarity, through spoken words rooted in clear attention, pure intention, and genuine attunement to their own inner guidance and divine source. When we use precise, conscious language, whether in prayer, affirmation, meditation, or heartfelt conversation, we stay sovereign, grounded, and protected. There's no room for hidden interference when everything is brought into the light of awareness. So, if you're drawn to the spiritual growth, Lean toward what feels transparent and empowering in the long term, not what is trending or a shortcut that promises rapid ascension but may leave hidden costs. After all, true transformation happens through clarity, not mystery. First, you hold immense power to heal yourself. The interactive multidimensional healing map at mbhmap.com unlocks that power, step-by-step release of trapped emotions, traumas, ancestor and past life energies, implants, and more across all bodies and dimensions. Even beginners dive in confidently. No rituals, just your intention. Ready to reclaim your sovereignty? Head to mbhmap.com, $12 a month, or book with me at sallyknopp.com. Your empowered journey starts here.
I am so impressed with this website, how well you've done it. You know, I worked in analytics, IT systems before, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a lot of work. And the navigation and to know and just the whole mapping, you must be a very analytical person because this is so well done. So, I love it. Thank you.
All right. So we are going to talk about our own personal experiences that we had when we were in a group meditation. And with me is Christina and Missy. And we were in a group meditation over Zoom. And so individually, we didn't know how this meditation was affecting each other. But there was a point in this meditation that we were in that light language was introduced. And immediately, and this is sort of what prompted all this caution about light language, is that we all individually like got off of it and actually like felt, oh, this is not good. And so we're going to talk about what that experience was like. And then also how we got back together and realized after talking that we had a similar experience around the same time in that meditation. Oh, holy cow. Did I get it?
Yep, you did. It's a lot.
Okay. All right. We're just gonna riff here and talk about it. So anybody want to start?
Well, I'll start. So we're sitting in the meditation and it's a groovy meditation. It was nice. It was super nice. Really was really nice meditation, enjoying it, you know, and as soon as the light language started, it's like everything just kind of my body just went stiff. It was like uh-oh. And it was like I almost thought about texting, but it was like you're supposed to be meditating. You know, it's a meditation. So I'm like, okay, just kind of mentally telling myself, it's okay. If it's not if it's not in my best and highest good, I don't want this. I just kind of started kind of thinking that as I was going through.
And from my experience was the reaction, it turns out, was similar. I immediately felt guarded, and I started putting shields around myself, and I've kind of only recently questioned a lot of what is light language. I mean, whether or not it sounds beautiful, which she has, what we heard was a lovely voice, but what is being spoken? What is the meaning behind it? What is the intention? I mean, we kind of are giving all of that openness of ourselves to something that's quite unknown. And even with the best intentions, this can be skewed. So I was also like not taking it in, not wanting that part of it to be part of this overall experience. So it was kind of fascinating when we got our, compared notes afterward. So
Yeah, for sure. And I was sitting here and just like Christina was saying, I was like turning into a noodle. I was just like, oh, this is really nice. Yeah, I'm kind of jazzed with this, it's just like, oh. And then all of a sudden she did that, and it's like because I had my headsets on, and I threw them off, and like, this is not good. And then I tuned in, like, is it for my best and highest good? It was like, and then I checked the presenter, the person that was doing the meditation. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, she was fine. So I was like, oh, okay, so I'm just totally reading this wrong. And it's just my knee-jerk reaction because my danger warning went up with light language, because I know that if I'm agreeing to this light language, it's going to affect me some way if there is something that's trying to encode in anywhere in my fields. So I'm like, okay, I put it back on, and then it got nice again. But then I never got back into that meditation, and I started feeling worse and worse and worse. And finally, when it was done, the host of the session, I said, I'm going to bounce, I'm going to go. And thank you so much for hosting it. And I thought this was entirely me that was feeling this negativity. And then, because Christina and I do healing together, Missy was wanting some healing on her energy. And then we had a massive discovery. And so I'll just tell you what happened to me first, and then y'all can kind of come in. So that night, after we all kind of went our separate ways, and like Christina, I also was trying to pick up my phone and text and let you know that I'm like, there's something off with this. And I thought, and I kept putting it down, like, why am I putting it down? Why do I care? I know these girls, they'd be okay. Like, all right, Sally's just lost her ever loving mind, and we just go on and do our thing. But I couldn't text. That was the first thing. And then in the middle of the night, I'm like, I wake up. I had fallen asleep, but I wake up and I feel this dread. I mean, it's massive dread. It's just like, did I lose a family member to something horrible? I mean, I could not give you the level of dread that I was experiencing. It was taking my breath away. It was obviously disrupting my sleep. And so I go through the clearing, saying the healing prayers just to make this dread go away. And finally, I get to the point where I fall back asleep, and I'm on my side, and I get woke up by somebody between my shoulder blades or just above, kind of just poking me. And it happened twice. And I realized that I'm like, all right, well, there's something here. And of course, I go through what I go through because I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm going to make it go away. And so I made it go away, and it hasn't bothered me since. But what was so weird is that when we all got back together again, I was saying what weird stuff was happening to me. And I think, Missy, it was you that said, hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Well, not exactly, but I had difficulty sleeping because I was having a real increased level of like worry about something, and I usually either have better control of that or haven't been even experiencing that for a while. But yeah, I felt really kind of worried and charged up, and once I did get to sleep, I was probably only about an hour or 90 minutes before I woke up again, and it was hard. It was hard. Something was off. Yeah. So that,
so
as
did
much
that
as
worry,
I thought
did the worry feel like dread to you?
Well, worry is dread, right? I mean, it didn't hit me as deeply as you're describing, it was just like, trying to shake off something like, because worry is just, it's not about being in that moment. And I was like, I want to sleep. I want to be in the sleep moment. And the worry, you could call it dread too, but it wasn't god awful dread, but it was not comfortable at all.
And we both experienced it. We experienced the ick moment at the same time in meditation, and woke up with this worry and dread in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh my word. All right. Christina, you got anything to add to that?
Well, I don't feel like I had a lot of worry. I had some worry, but I definitely wasn't sleeping. Like, it wasn't it wasn't out and down for the count. It was very rough sleeping. So I wasn't able to fully relax to sleep. So
Missy, I don't want to say too much unless you're comfortable saying it. So I'm going to let you tell the next part about what we did and what we found when we tuned into you for energy healing. Because
Sure.
Christina and
Yeah.
I work together for energy healing, just FYI, just so you know.
Mhm.
And that's
Right.
what we were doing. We were working with you in that energy healing.
So I had a recent but past experience where I was exposed a lot to some light language. It was new to me. I wasn't doing it at all. I was more incorporating some of my music with it. With
And what you're
another
talking
person
about,
doing
let me interrupt you right there. You're
Yeah.
talking about a different time, not this time.
Yes. Is that what you
Okay.
wanted? Is that what you
Yeah.
meant? You're directing me that way
Yeah.
because that's the source of what you and Christina found. So
Yeah. So go back to that point, then go forward.
yeah. So from that point, there was a fair amount of exposure to light language being sung. I was requesting the next time I did this with this person, I was requesting that, on the outset, we set something up that says, for our greatest and highest good. But that just didn't get incorporated again and again from the other person. It did on my side, but still there I was in this exposure. So fast forward to our session now, and I'll let you guys describe what you've discovered.
I had Christina in her theta state, and she was tuned into your higher self or the subconscious, just like we would do in a QHHT. It's basically QHHT by proxy. And we found that there were these implants, which is distortions. It's almost like a computer virus. And you picked up, I believe, and you can say from your experience what you remember, Christina, you picked up on these implants and that we extracted those out. So maybe from your perspective, you could add to that.
Yeah, we did discover some implants, which I thought was really unusual. Like I wouldn't have expected to find an energetic implant, so to say. It's like you say, it is like a computer virus. So, but that's kind of a new kind of a thing for me to have experienced, that was something, that was a thing even.
Was it even a thing? Who knew?
Right.
Yeah. And they
Right.
can be seen, unseen, hidden, underlined, and anybody in any dimension. And that was the weird thing. If I had just gone in and done energy healing, had I not known to look at like underlight, I might have missed it. That's how crucial this language and energy healing has to be, because
Right.
it is truly like working with a computer and trying to purge it of a computer virus, because it is codes. They are, quote, light codes in used through language. Would you say that's right, Christina, or I'm missing something in any of that from what you saw when you tuned in?
From what I saw, no, you're not missing anything. I think you got spot on with that, for
Okay.
sure.
And then, Missy, as you went through that healing experience, can you explain what it felt like to have those implants cleared?
Well, it was it was, first of all, in an analysis with my mind of what was going on, it's pretty abstract and it was pretty new. But the deeper we went, the more clearing that was occurring. And in the following days, there was some really nice mental clarity. I felt like lighter with things. And I think I'm going to add this, that the session we did most recently was even deeper. And I think because that's cleared out, I felt less blocked by things. And that's really, really interesting, to think about that. And as you know, what we most recently did in a session had physical characteristics. I experienced all kinds of things, and so did Christina by proxy. So we were almost
Yeah, we
wiped
were
out.
feeling,
Yeah.
basically what we were feeling is the energy in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. And it really was building with so much intensity. We had to keep breathing, and yeah, it was definitely fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, breathe, people, breathe. I can't breathe. Yeah. So now that we are here and we've had our experience with light language, what is your takeaway, Christina, about light language?
I would say um, to be very, very cautious. And to try, if you feel like it is not in your best and highest good, don't consume it. Just don't.
Right.
And trust how you feel. Your body knows automatically. So trust whatever signals your body gives you. Don't let your brain try to talk you out of it. Just trust.
Because my friend said, try it if you're going to love it. Because really, truly, that's sort of what happens with light language. He can initially make you feel really good. That's why it's like a drug. And so you feel really good. And then because of the inversion it creates, then you feel worse. And so as you begin to feel worse, you think, wait a minute, I'm feeling bad. I better go back and do some more of that light language because it made me feel so good. So then you're right back to doing more light language, and it makes you feel good for a little bit. And then you feel it a little bit worse than you felt before the first time. It's kind of like a drug addict. I mean, I guess that's how I
Sure. Yeah.
classify it.
I mean, it's obviously doing something to create this behavior almost of need, I guess. Like you're exposed, you feel good. It's that cycle. And I just, even without knowing like the meaning behind the words, right? That's like for from an intellectual point, wanting to know what does it mean. Like what Christina's saying, just as important as what does it feel. Everybody can respond to what it feels, and if it was to be interpreted or whatever, even if you were to agree with what was behind the words, if you're not feeling right, then you don't want it in, because words are so powerful, and to expose yourself to words with that kind of power without even knowing, I don't know why it is becoming so widespread. It's just like it just hits you out of nowhere. You're in the middle of a
Well, it's a
meditation,
bit,
someone starts doing it.
yeah, it's because it's the latest, greatest thing, It's all over social media. Everybody wants the activation codes. It's almost what they call spiritual bypassing, because you can do the energy clearing, meditation, whatever makes your body physically feel better and heal. That's great. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for what thoughts you think and what emotions you allow in order to grow. And if you want to be more spiritually connected, all the light codes are not going to throw that switch on and suddenly you're connected and the heavens are going to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Wish it were that easy.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Right.
Yeah. Well, Missy, what's your takeaway in all this?
Yeah, to be cautious, and to just listen to your body, judge your reaction, not what someone's telling you about it. If you immediately feel like, throwing your headphones off because it's coming through, that's a sign. I I also just don't like when it's pounced upon you, like no preparation to like be guarded for that. So going forward, I'm very actively avoiding light language and exposure to light language.
Now, because you don't know, and the person, and Christina and I were talking before you came on, Missy, the person who is delivering it, and just like we talked about the person that was delivering our meditation in that group, I'm sure she felt she was doing what was right and good for everybody. But that's where the inversion takes over,
Mhm.
right? So she's giving, obviously, it's like an infection. It's almost like a virus. She didn't intend to infect anybody because she doesn't know that she's got light codes or a virus, if you will. I don't know how else to say it, that's infecting other people. And with all of us having the same reaction in that session at the same time, and then having the same sleep disruptions after that, and then once we clear it, we don't have any more. There's something to this. And so that's where it gets so dangerous. It's the person facilitating the light language may be doing it from where they think they're doing it for their best and highest good. But, I want to ask you this, Christina. If you remember when we were tuned in to Missy, and when I first asked if this person had an implant or whatever, I can't remember, it was an implant or an inversion or something, you first said no.
Right.
And then it came to me, ask, is there a shield? Go ahead and tell.
Yeah, that was really strange because, you were asking me if they had an inversion, and I sort of remember saying no, but then the next thing, just right after that, you blurted out, is there a shield? And my response was yes, there was a shield.
And it was visceral for you, as I remember you saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why this is so dangerous, because we are literally giving permission for energies to come in to disrupt us, thinking it's in our best and highest good. And this is energy so tricky, it can create this shield and not be seen. So I guess I guess if I'm a mom talking to everybody here that's even watching this, just stay away from light language, because healing isn't a mystery. It's not given in darkness. Healing is light, and you should be able to hear the words spoken in your experience. Am I missing anything?
Well, it's just, I was just listening to the irony of that, like we're talking about, that there's potentially darkness around that. So where did the word light language come from? Where's the assumption that this is delivered in and from light?
Oh, that's a good question. That almost feels deceptive, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
All right. Any last words, Christina?
No, I just would reiterate that if it doesn't feel right, then it's a hard no. Then it's a hard no.
Yeah.
Like, it's no.
Yeah. And we've been through lots of energy healing. Can you imagine somebody who's not been through any energy healing at all, and just like their big thing may be anxiety? That would be like throwing gasoline on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine, Missy, when we first met, you were dealing with a lot of anxiety. Can you imagine that anxiety that you woke up with had you not had energy healing in advance of any of that?
Right.
That level of anxiety you had before. Can you imagine what that would have done to you?
Yeah, just too much.
All right. Well, you hear it now. We say avoid it, because healing is understood. You understand what is being done. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching.